Scotts Bluff County Commissioners are discussing possible changes to paid holidays at the county level. KNEB.TV News starts right now.
From your trusted source for news in western Nebraska and eastern Wyoming, this is KNEB.TV News. Presented by Platte Valley Companies, premier provider of financial services.
Hello, I'm Ryan Murphy. This is KNEB.TV News powered by Platte Valley Companies. Thanks for joining me. In our top story, one Scotts Bluff County Commissioner says he would like to see an updated time-off policy for employees following the closure of some county offices last Christmas Eve, while others remained open. Mark Harris added the subject to the Tuesday night board agenda, saying he was not happy with the manner in which the decisions were made after President Trump declared the day a national holiday, which also meant a closure of state offices with the exception of the courts and other agencies that operate year-round. Harris said he's in favor of closing county offices for half a day on Christmas Eve, but the overall total of holidays observed by the county needs to be discussed.
The elected officials, that we try and take a hard look at how much is enough, how many days is enough off. And I'm saying we've stretched the limits.
However, other elected county officials noted that in the past, the county would almost always follow the state's lead, and any closure of state offices impacts local services, such as vehicle registration and issuing driver's licenses. Harris suggested it might be time for the county personnel board to review the county's time-off regulations and perhaps come up with new policies or a system that everybody could agree would be beneficial. Well, Nebraska Chief Justice says that the state's courts are expanding their public services to protect abused children, keep former prisoners from reoffending, and help some counties save money. In his State of the Judiciary address to lawmakers, Nebraska Supreme Court Chief Justice Mike Heavican says the courts are working to reunite more foster children with parents, help offenders with drug and alcohol addictions, and save money by having clerks serve both district and county courts.
The welfare of Nebraska's children and the elderly continues to be an access priority for the judiciary. As part of our commitment to these populations, our Court Improvement Project has been involved in a number of outreach programs across Nebraska.
Heavican concluded his address by noting that the Nebraska Judicial Branch remains committed to the delivery of justice in a fair and timely manner, and that the High Court will carry out this mission efficiently while continuing to provide equal access to all Nebraska citizens. Well, straight ahead, Bill Boyer's in with your Thursday evening forecast. I'll have that right after this on KNEB.TV News.
At Platte Valley Bank, we believe it shouldn't cost you money to access your money. That's why we offer free ATMs anytime, anywhere. Whether you are across town or traveling abroad, there won't be an added expense to access the funds in your Platte Valley Bank account. Free ATMs are just one of the great benefits of banking with us. Stop by to talk to one of our friendly associates to discuss what else Platte Valley Bank has to offer.
At TC and More in Scotts Bluff, we have toys and puzzles for your children, or they make a great gift. TC and More has craft activities, pretend play toys, and dozens of puzzles and games for all ages. We also have the largest supply of Melissa and Doug toys. And we still carry all of your classroom essentials. Remember to like TC and More on Facebook. TC and More, 1621 Broadway, beautiful downtown Scotts Bluff.
When you're Arby's, you can do certain things, like load roast beef and curly fries onto a sandwich, add horsey sauce, Arby's sauce, and cheddar cheese sauce on there. Sell them 2 for $6. And when you're Arby's, you can call it the Arbinator. Because if you aren't, Arbinator is a super strange name to just invent. Arby's, we have the meats.
This is KNEB.TV weather from the Arby's Weather Center. Arby's, we have the meats.
Well, we're going to be quiet across the region again tonight. You can see clear skies as we start the evening out. We'll bring a few more clouds in tomorrow to start the day, but once again, temperatures pretty mild for this time of year, only falling off into the low 20s. A few upper teens probably going to sneak in there, but really the mild weather continues for the next several days. We have a gorgeous weekend coming. You're going to love this weekend forecast we've got. Now, a system is going to arrive to start our work week on Monday, with finally a chance of some rain and snow in our area, and it's been a while since we've been able to say that. Yesterday, another day of above normal temperatures. We hit 53 after a morning low of 24. Both those about 10 degrees above normal. 19 below in 1917. We've barely had any below zero temperatures. It's been a very mild winter overall. Nothing in the rain gauge yesterday. Of course, January, one of our driest months that we ever have, and it's turning out to be even drier than normal, significantly so. If you think, boy, it seems like we've had a run of pretty nice temperatures, you'd be right. Take a look at this. This is the last 2 weeks here. We had one day back on Friday, the 10th of this January, where we were 5 degrees below zero. We hit a high of 36. Otherwise, we have been above normal. That's 13 straight days in a row of above normal temperatures starting on this Saturday, the 11th, and it's going to continue for the foreseeable future. 41 is our normal high this time of year. We're not forecasting highs below that number really for the next 7 days. So we're going to be on a very mild January trend that continues. And we've had a couple of attempts where we peaked up above 50, which is some 10 plus degrees above normal, including yesterday. Pretty comfortable temperatures here across the region. All that Arctic area is retreated off to the east or north of us. We're in the 20s and 30s out here across the region. North Platte at 36, Hastings at 30. Let's take a look here in our region. 37 right now in Ogallala, Valentine at 31, 35 in Kimball, 37 in Torrington. So really pretty uniform temperatures, and winds have been much calmer than yesterday. We had a pretty gusty day yesterday, peak wind gusts in the 40 plus mile an hour range. Not today. Winds are sustained right now in 5 to 15 mile an hour, so keeping those wind chills in the 20s to low 30s out here for most of us. Really nothing to complain about for the last week of January. Heading on the bus tomorrow, we're going to get you on there with partly cloudy skies, temperatures in the low 20s, and we'll bring you back home at 48 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Really very nice conditions. Another very nice end to the work week for tomorrow. Let's take a look at Futurecast. Again, any light sprinkles or snow showers will be confined mainly to the sandhills. That storm system, and it was producing accumulating snow again in eastern Nebraska. It'll push away from us. Things will finally settle down in that part of the state for tomorrow. Temperatures tonight, upper teens and low 20s for all of us. Again, these are pretty close to or slightly above normal for lows out here across the area. Tomorrow then, we're going to be dealing with partly cloudy skies really early in the day. Probably clearing skies throughout the afternoon. We'll bring a few clouds back in late in the day. All in all, a very quiet weather pattern continues here across the high plains for this time of year. And temperatures tomorrow going to climb back to near 50 for many of us, certainly into the mid and upper 40s, well above normal again for this time of year. So very nice weather conditions continue. Partly cloudy, we'll call it tonight. Lows down around 21. Light and variable winds, very comfortable evening, and a very pleasant day tomorrow. 49, a nice day, light winds at 5 to 10 miles an hour. So where are we heading for the next 7 days? We'll look at skies that are going to be partly cloudy as we go into Sunday. Look at that, highs in the low 50s. Sunday may be the pick of the weekend. Then we bring in some rain or snow showers along a cold front late Sunday into Monday, finally putting at least a chance of precip in there. Breezy conditions continue post that front on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, back to drier conditions again. But you'll notice all of the next 7 days, temperatures are above normal for this time of year, and lows certainly above normal as well. So all in all, a 7-day forecast that we can all agree with.
2 of the most Arby's sandwiches ever made for $6. They're big, but downing 2 is possible. You just gotta believe in yourself. I believe in you. Arby's, we have the meats.
On April 15, 1924, West Nebraska Methodist Episcopal Hospital, the region's first modern hospital, opened in downtown Scottsbluff. The goal was to provide the care residents needed close to home, and it's never changed. For 95 years, we've continued to provide exceptional health care for generations of families throughout our region as a community hospital, a regional referral center, and a Level 2 trauma center. Thank you for trusting your health care to Regional West Medical Center.
At Elite Physical Therapy, we provide preventative and rehabilitative treatments that maximize function and promote well-being for patients of all ages. With 2 locations in Scottsbluff and Gering, we offer the convenience of you choosing your location with the same great services no matter where you go. Stop into one of our locations today, in Scottsbluff at 214 West 27th Street or in Gering at 10th and M Street, and see what Elite Physical Therapy can do for you. Treatment you need and care you deserve.
Welcome back. Criminal charges have been filed against a former Gering Junior High School science teacher following an investigation conducted by the Nebraska State Patrol. 31-year-old Zachary Bonus was arrested on Wednesday morning on charges including possession of child pornography, a Class 2A felony, child enticement via an electronic communication device, which is a Class 1D felony, and debauching a minor, which is a Class 1 misdemeanor. Court documents say that NSP investigators had received information that Bonus anonymously contacted a 16-year-old student via Snapchat requesting a sexting relationship, and he reportedly later admitted to creating a Snapchat account to contact the girl and acknowledged what he did was wrong. He posted $20,000 bond yesterday ahead of his arraignment in Scottsbluff County Court. Sticking with the courts, this a 32-year-old Scottsbluff man could be facing a mandatory minimum of 3 years in prison if convicted on a weapons charge stemming from his Tuesday afternoon arrest. Scottsbluff police arrested Brandon Benavidez on a charge of felon in possession of a firearm following an investigation that began as a verbal argument at WTT. Officers later made contact with Benavidez at a residence on Avenue H, where he reportedly walked to the front door and handed a .22 caliber handgun to someone inside the home. Bond in that case has been set at $75,000 at 10%. And Gering Senator John Stinner has introduced legislation that would move the Nebraska Brand Committee to the Nebraska Department of Agriculture in an effort to modernize the state's branding statute. LB 1165 would retain cattle producers' rights to own and use registered brands, but it would remove the brand inspection requirement. It would also simplify the administration and registration of brand applications and renewals. Stinner says he's not attempting to eliminate brand registration, but to seek out fiscally sound solutions so that we can move forward. Well, coming up after the break, big honors for Gering cross-country coach Rick Merez. Chris Cottrell has that story in sports right after this.
Think a utility vehicle should do more than take you places? So does Kubota. That's why our all-new Sidekick is built to do it all. Climb more. Tow more. Go more. Cross over to more today. Take your Kubota Sidekick home with no money down and 0% financing for 36 months.
Your local Kubota dealer is Sandberg Implement in Gering.
You said yes. Together, you planned every detail. You married. And then you realized 500 square feet just isn't enough room for 2. When life happens, find a home that fits. First National Bank North Platte. Start your mortgage pre-approval today. You decide to add another to your family. You start reading parenting books. You're amazed that such a small human could need so much space. When life happens, find a home that fits. First National Bank North Platte. Start your mortgage pre-approval today.
Now, sports from the First National Bank Sports Desk. First National Bank of North Platte, the bank to think of first.
It's a statewide award for a coach over at Gering, plus what's on tap for the weekend for basketball coverage here on the Rural Radio Network. Back in the fall, the Gering girls cross-country team won the Class B state title held in Kearney. It was announced earlier this week that Gering head coach Rick Merez had been named the U.S. Track and Field Cross-Country Coaches Association Girls Coach of the Year for Nebraska. Merez was initially surprised, but very thankful.
It's pretty exciting. You know, like I said earlier, I didn't even know it existed. I didn't know about it. I don't have a big presence on social media, so when a friend said, hey, congratulations, she had to share the link and a screenshot for me to actually to believe her, number one. But then once I got to reading about it, I thought it was pretty cool, good recognition, not just for me, but for the kids and what we were able to do this year.
The National Coaches Association, well, they got this award right. At the state meet, Merez put together a great game plan for his team that included putting individual goals aside for the good of the group.
That started early in the season with that whole process. Like you said, it wasn't just let's just go run as fast as we can. There was some strategy. There were some things that we had to try because, for example, the girl from Hastings, we knew what she was capable of, and we didn't want to chase her and run out of gas, so to speak. So we started early. We had to stay patient. We had to develop little by little. We had some marks we wanted to hit throughout the season. The girls were able to hit those. They supported each other, and it was difficult because we have 3 girls that essentially could be number 1 for a lot of other programs. So to have 3 of them on the same team, they really had to work together and support each other. So that whole process of learning to run together and pacing each other and finishing together, that whole process was pretty impressive to see it play out.
Tucker Romey, Shaylee Patton, and Maddie Seiler finished 2, 3, and 4 for the Bulldogs that day to bring the dream to reality.
But that is really, really hard to describe to people because they did have to set aside individual results and the prestige that comes with winning individually to win as a team. Tucker Romey, for example, I know she wants to win, but for her to be able to slow down just a little bit to overcome some of the medical concerns even we had at the start of the year, to be able to slow down a little bit and push her teammates to win as a team, that's impressive. And it's hard to describe to people when you look at a team sport. Imagine taking your number 1 player and asking them, hey, we don't want you to do everything. We just want you to do enough to carry the rest. That's hard. So for us to be able to do that as a team was really fun.
Romey front and center today, in fact, over at the high school. She's signing her letter of intent to run and attend school at Chadron State College.
Tucker is one of those kids that I'm pretty lucky to have. We've had her since middle school, so I've been able to coach her for 6 years. And Tucker's a hard worker. She's confident. She's a team player. She's very supportive of her teammates. She's always out and about. She's active. So it wasn't that she was just a talented runner. She put in the time. You know, she played soccer, even middle school, she played soccer and ran cross country at the same time. She's always rollerblading. She's always active and always doing something. So she's going to be hard to replace just because what she provides to the team and the atmosphere, that's huge, especially what she does with her teammates and the support she provides. That's going to be hard to replace.
Now, Coach is not taking any time off this winter. He's helping the boys basketball program. Merez, along with Sean Seiler, serving as assistant coaches for head coach Kyle Cotton.
It's one of the things we talk to kids about all the time. Get out of your comfort zone, do something a little bit different. And it's definitely me living that mentality, and I've enjoyed it, you know, being able to work with guys and help them get better mentally and physically. I'm learning some things along with them, but to be able to do something different really helps me appreciate where I come from in the cross-country world or distance running world.
Big honor for Gering cross-country coach Rick Merez, named the girls' coach of the year here in the state of Nebraska. And yes, the time has come. You remember this matchup, don't you, from a year ago, right? Abraham Lincoln out of Denver. Well, they rolled into town and beat Scottsbluff in an epic buzzer beater. Great game over at Scottsbluff High School. The final was 88-86. Now time for the return trip. That's on tap for tomorrow night. Should be a fun one in Denver for the Cats and the Lancers. Also, Gering home for Chadron, and then Saturday, TV and radio for the big crosstown rivalry doubleheader, Gering over at Scottsbluff. Evening start times for varsity action at Scottsbluff on Saturday night. That'll do it for today. The latest from right here at the First National Bank Sports Desk. I'm Chris Cottrell. Ryan's coming back with an update on the community calendar right after this on KNEB.TV.
Sometimes events in life are planned. Others, a happy surprise. No matter what life change you're navigating, whether you're getting married or just want a bigger yard for your pup, find a home that fits. First National Bank North Platte. Start your mortgage pre-approval today. Retirement. A new season in life where you can change how you live it. And something easier, convenient, that feels just right. When it's time, find a home that fits. First National Bank North Platte. Start your mortgage pre-approval today.
Every cookie sold in the Girl Scout Cookie Program helps girls learn lifelong lessons in people skills, decision making, money management, goal setting, and business ethics. It's amazing how much you can learn from a cookie. The Girl Scout Cookie Program. Think outside the box.
When it comes to helping local folks with the loans and financial advice they need, we don't horse around. Our only goal is to help you and your family achieve your financial goals with the right loans and savings products. So if you want to bank with people that care about you and your financial needs, stop by or give us a call. First State Bank. We're big on you. Member FDIC. Online at fsbcentral.com.
Well, let's take a look what's happening on today's community calendar. That's a look at today's community calendar, brought to you by First State Bank, honoring those who give back. Nominate your community champion at fsbcentral.com.
Find out what convenient really means at the Western Travel Terminal. Start with our great selection of food and drinks, from for real milkshakes and fresh brewed coffee to snacks and hot food. Next, check out our beer and spirits with their everyday low prices. Finally, let us work for you with our full-service gas station and automatic truck and car wash. All this can be found at 822 South Beltline in Scottsbluff. Western Travel Terminal, your convenient shopping, restaurant, and full-service gas leader.
At Compliments for You and Your Home, we're not ready to take down Christmas decor quite yet. Stop in and pick up great Christmas decor at great prices, with all Christmas items 30% off. And remember, Compliments has ladies' fashions that appeal to all ages and sizes. Be sure to look through our clearance racks for last chance bargains. Compliments for You and Your Home, 1708 Broadway, downtown Scottsbluff.
At Platte Valley Bank, we offer loans with competitive rates and quick decisions from our experienced lenders. Our team works hard to get to know you and your business. From ag to auto, home loans, and everything in between, we're here to help. Stop Stop by Platte Valley Bank or apply online to find the loan that is right for you today.
And before we wrap up tonight's newscast, it's time to honor the First State Bank Community Champion for the month of January. Many people may not know this month's Community Champion, but there's a good chance you know his house around Christmas time. Gene Cochran is the man behind the decked-out lights on Avenue C in Scottsbluff, and says it all began about 50 years ago by adding a star to the top of a CB radio tower.
And then comments on that was positive, so during the year, when I walk back and forth and look at that thing from the garage, and if I could make a tree under that would match. And so that's where it actually began.
He builds new additions each year, including the trumpeting angel, Santa stuffing stockings above the fireplace, and of course, the rotating Christmas train, which almost didn't make an appearance this year.
I wasn't going to put the train up this last year due to the ice and so forth, and at the last minute when I turned the lights on without it, I had several comments on where's the train, so we decided to put that up a week late. But the train is probably the most difficult thing to assemble when it's cold.
Gene says, like all good things, it does take some time to get his display fully up and running.
I can do it in a week. Usually have a little help, but usually about one long week. I spend about 4 hours a day, and this last time when we had winter come early, fortunately I started early, and so I got part of it done and then finished the other part afterward.
And the million-dollar question is, why does he keep doing this year after year?
Because people keep after me to put them up. I wasn't going to do them this last year, and till last minute, tell people I'm not. Oh, you got to do it. I'll bring the kids by here, and the kids, so the kids basically, yeah, the kids love it, and so probably as long as there's interest, I'll probably put them up some.
Congratulations once again to Gene Cochran, the First State Bank Community Champion for the month of January. And if you'd like to nominate someone who is making a positive impact on our community, you can nominate them online at www.fsbcentral.com, and maybe they'll be the next community champion. Well, that does it for us this time. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you here next time.